Hello everyone, and welcome to this month's video message, which is coming to you from the Blood Sciences Laboratory deep in the basement in the pathology department at Ashford and St Peter's. And we're here to talk to Jey and to Jo, two of our colleagues in the department who are going to tell us a bit about what they do and also some of the challenges that they face in their roles. So tell us a bit, Jey, about what happens down here in this part of the organisation.
So what we mainly do here, we do blood grouping and cross-matching. When it comes to cross-match, issuing blood to the patients. Samples come from right middle centre, from A&E, ITU, maternity, theatre, you name it, everywhere. And then we have to produce the results within that turnaround time in order to move the patients across the patch. So the staff's doing an immense job. So I'm really proud of our staff, basically.
Good. You and the team down here are part of Surrey Pathology Services. So just tell us a bit about what Surrey Pathology Services is and how that works.
So we've got 5 big hospitals: Frimley Park, Royal Surrey, St Peter's, Wrexham and Reading now. So all hospitals work together as a team and then sharing the information, sharing the staffing, sharing the knowledge, everything. So the patient goes to Frimley, we know the details here. The patient goes to Royal Surrey, we can see the details here. So we don't need to repeat the test again.
Jey, this looks like a very complicated environment. We've got lots of equipment down here. Tell us a bit about the processes that go on in this lab.
Basically, when we receive the samples from reception area, and then we book it in this LIMS system, we call pathology IT system, and then we put it through on the analyzer. And then analyzers pass the blood group into the LIMS system again. Again, there is no manual intervention. When the results comes out, we authorize them and then report to the clinicians. When they need blood, then we will do the cross-match against patient samples with red cells. If they want platelets or FFP, we can issue them whatever they want to.
Now we're joined by Jo Findon, who's a transfusion practitioner for the Trust, and I'm sure she's a face that many of you will recognise from around the organisation. So Jo, tell us a bit about your role and what you do.
My role as a transfusion practitioner really is providing mandatory training across the Trust for clinical staff who are involved in all aspects of transfusion. Another huge part of my role really is to be that link between blood bank and the clinical areas. So it's bridging that sort of gap in communication really as well when it can be very pressured situations in both clinical areas.
So Jo, you've been telling me about some of the national changes that are taking place around transfusion. Tell us all a bit more about that.
Our current action plans are really heavily focused on the new NICE guidance that came out in November 2015. And people may have seen our Blood Drops newsletter on Aspire, which highlighted these, and we put a link in there to these. And these really are really focusing on reducing the amount of transfusions per patients and looking at alternatives where possible, such as using oral iron and IV iron in replacement of transfusions. And also looking at reducing transfusion in that we would think about giving 1 unit of blood transfusion to a patient and then reviewing after each unit in those non-acute, non-bleeding situations where possibly 1 unit might be enough for a patient, because we want to look at reducing the risk of overload from transfusions and all those other sort of complications that come along with being transfused.
You've been telling me about some of the challenges that you face in your role, and one of them is about the ordering process for bloods, and you've recently made some changes there.
Yeah, well, we've recently made some changes to improve patient safety really with ordering of blood products, and that change is that it's mandatory to actually send a written sample request form for each request for blood products for a patient. The reason for doing this is so that blood bank, the only way they will know about those patient details and get that patient information is through requests and through communication from clinical staff. So it's really important that those forms are filled in correctly.
Jo, it's been great to hear about the role that you do, and thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us all today. So what messages would you like to give to the staff in Ashford and St Peter's who use your service?
I would say is we have reduced our blood usage last year and the previous year, which is tally up with the national usage level, which saved the Trust. Previous year is £127,000 and this year £67,000 in terms of blood usage alone. So what I'm asking is, when we're ordering the blood product, we have to treat them with respect, because literally we are giving someone's body part into someone's body. So it's a liquid transplantation, so we have to be thinking that aspect as well. So we are doing really great, first of all, so thanks for all the clinicians. but we can do even better, and then we can even reduce our blood usage. So all I can say is people can come and visit our lab and then go through where we're storing, what products we're storing, how long it can take to reach you, and what's the process in between them. And then there's another thing, we do electronic issue as well. So if you want to learn more about it, I think it's a very good thing is come and visit us.
That's a great invitation. Thank you, Jey. It's been really interesting to come down to pathology and to find out more about the blood transfusion service. It's certainly made me think about some of the risks we need to weigh up when we're thinking about transfusion services. And I'd really encourage all of you who are interested, who are connected to this department, to take up Jey's offer and come down and find out more about the service and the team for yourselves.